And we're rolling. What's up, guys? Today is Tuesday, July 23rd. Acquisitions Tuesday, coming at you live from reiAF. Drop a comment, let me know who's here, smash the like button, hit subscribe, all that jazz. Today I have a very good call. I'm going to be breaking down sellers. I'm going to be breaking down avatars, marketing. I want to get into understanding who you're actually talking to. I've been seeing this big, everybody I talked to recently has been doing this big push talking to agents, all right? There's been a lot of just trying to skim fat off the top of deals that aren't actual deals, and I wanted to get back to basics. I want to show people actually who you're supposed to be dealing with, all right? If you want to make a $60, a $70, a $80,000 assignment fee, guess what? It's not going to be talking to agents. I'm sorry, okay? You're going to have to put in some work. You're going to have to talk direct to sellers, and you're going to have to start solving problems. So that's the basis for today's call. What I wrapped it around, what I pictured when I made today's call. So as always, if you have any questions at any time, drop it in the comments. Let me know, okay? I will stop. I will answer questions throughout. Just getting set up here. What do we got going on today? All right, so no, that's going on today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 24th, I have Ryan Romo coming in. We're going to be sitting down and we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. That man has a $14 million deal under construction right now. I don't know a lot of other people building 70 apartments right next to DFW Love, but we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about it. We're going to be asking him all the ins and outs of it. Yo, D, what's going on? Thanks for showing up. Let me know if you have any questions throughout as I get into this. It's going to be pertaining a lot to our call yesterday, okay, D? So this is going to be going more in depth on yesterday's discussion that we had. So let's jump into it. How's that? I hope you guys can see that. Acquisitions Tuesday, mastering your ideal seller avatar, okay? You have to understand who you're talking to when you're trying to understand who wants to sell their properties, all right? If I'm looking for a deal, if I'm looking for a wholesale deal, if I'm looking for a land deal, whatever it is, a sub-2 deal, you have to ask yourself who is going to be selling that property, okay? What type of pains are they in? Where are they reaching out to? Okay, what is the psychology behind them? All of their things. What's their timeline? All right? Acquisition starts by defining your ideal seller avatar and understanding it completely. I cannot stress this enough, okay? Otherwise, why are people going to sell you their house? If you're not going to come in, understand their situation, solve their problems, why are they going to sign a contract with you? Okay, and this starts with marketing. Always, forefront. Leads are the lifeblood of real estate, and it comes down to marketing. All right? There's nothing fancy about it. There's no tricks or secrets. You just have to understand who you're talking to. Okay? The importance of a seller avatar. Why do we stress this? Why do we define them so much? All right, it's because you can target your marketing to them. Specifically, when you understand them, you can go right to them. You can go to the church that they're hanging out at, in a sense, right? You know where to find drunks, they're at the bar. Okay, once you start understanding where you can find off-market properties, you just go right to the source, all right? Effective communication. No longer do you have to call agents and then hopefully you can talk your way into getting a deal out of them, right? Like you actually can talk to people, understand their problems, and solve them, all right? I'm going to segue real quick, and just because my brain works this way. There is also a new trend of people wanting to get into real estate and want to do deals, but they have nothing to offer, okay? They want to offer a fake JV agreement percentage. I'll give you 40% commission for whatever deal I close. Like, that's all bullshit. Okay, you have to have something attainable to present. Okay, so stop trying to back end your way in and weasel your way into these deals. Understand that you have to put in the work up front. Okay, you're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to make a lot of phone calls until you find a good, solid lead. Then bring that lead to somebody else and say, hey, listen, I have this warm lead, XYZ, let's partner on it. But I'm seeing this big push right now where people are trying to give a percentage of something that they don't even have right now. So cut that shit out. Getting back onto my subject, sorry. You also have higher conversion rates, all right? When you're dealing with cold traffic or anything blind shooting, you don't understand their needs, you're gonna have a lot of dropouts, okay? This is why all wholesalers have 60% conversion rates, right? Like deals actually getting under contract and actually getting through closing for a typical wholesaler are trash. Why? Because they don't understand the full logistics of everything involved. They don't understand what the seller actually needs. They're not buying right. They're not negotiating right. They're just working off a small spread and they're making promises that they can't keep. Characteristics of different sellers, all right? These are just some common ones, all right? Distressed property owners. Are they facing foreclosures? Are they just old and the house is falling down around them? Okay, what are their problems? Typically, they need quick cash. All right, tired landlords. The definition for tired landlord is anybody that's owned rentals, I believe, for 15 years. But these are a great source, right? They want to offload their rental properties, right? They want to sell the, what do we say, Tommy? Dump your dogs, right? They want to sell their dogs. So go and help them with that, all right? Help them get their tenants out of their properties. Inherited property owners, okay? A lot of times the average rental property is owned by mom and pops, 1 or 2 rental properties, and they inherited them, okay? They don't know how to manage them. They don't know how to keep them cash flowing. A lot of times they have higher equity because they've been in the family, and they just want to sell them. They don't know what to actually do with it. Relocators, this is one that we've been dealing with a lot in the past 2 years, okay? People coming in and out of Texas. They need to sell quickly due to job relocation or life changes. This can be anything. And then the last common one that you run into is probate. All right, this is death. This is anybody that's dealing with a recent property in probate. They are interested in a fast and hassle-free. That's the stress part. Hassle-free. You need to come in there, solve their problems, and make it disappear like nothing happened. They have a very open wound, if you will, right? Identifying pain points, okay? Each one is different. Distressed property owners, they're facing foreclosures. They need to sell quickly to avoid the foreclosures, okay? Their time frame is typically 3 weeks, a month. It depends on how long they've been burying their head in the sand. Sometimes you'll get a hold of them on a Friday and they need to close by Tuesday because it's going up for auction. Happens. Each one you're going to address differently, okay? If they have that short time frame, you're able to, I don't want to say leverage, okay, because people take that in a bad way, but you have to get a deal in the right way. This way you can solve the problems. So if you have something that's closing by the end of next week, your offer better well take that into consideration, okay? Financial struggles, maintenance issues, distressed properties, constantly. We'll go through them. We'll pull up screenshots. They have just delayed and disregarded maintenance, okay? Not even unsatisfactory work getting done, just no work getting done. Again, there are holes in the roof of the living room that they're sitting in, all right? We've done this. We've ran into these properties. Tony and Mason just walked one that the people were living with a house that was infested, and I mean infested, with spiders. Millions of spiders everywhere. They were literally, as Mason's sitting there, they're falling and dropping on his shoulder. How do you manage that? How do you talk with that person, right? You have to ignore all that bullshit. Tired landlords, we talked about this 2 seconds ago. They are dealing with problematic tenants, okay? You have to be able to understand their needs. A lot of times people got into these properties. Lately we're running into them all the time. Properties that they got into, they thought they were going to be a great cash flowing asset, and then rates went through the roof or the market adjusted, and now they're trying to creatively rent it out. Like, all these crazy things. If I hear pad split one more goddamn time, I'm going to lose my mind. They're also dealing with legal challenges, all right? Tenant laws and potential legal battles. If you can solve those issues going into it confidently, if you have a title agent that you know can work title and get things done, you have a huge step up against other wholesalers that are just randomly running across these people, right? Probate sellers, okay, legal complexities. I cannot stress this enough, okay? Navigating the probate process and legal requirements. This is different state by state, okay? We deal in Texas, and I try to tell everybody to shop in their backyard. So hopefully you understand your laws in your state, okay, when it comes to this. Some are quick, some are longer than others. But make sure you take all of them into consideration. Quick sale preference, they need a quick, hassle-free sale. We already discussed that. And then the last thing about this is you don't think about it, you run into so many different disagreements among the heirs, okay? Everybody hates everybody when it comes to these properties. In real estate, you turn out to be more of a family counselor than anything else. All right, talking to people, having to get 17 AOHs signed, or, you know, it's just a nightmare. I say that on a low note, okay? But it's not. It comes down to understanding these things, okay? The more you understand it, the easier it is. It's the same reason why people go into these things with a smile on their face, because they understand it wholeheartedly. They say, that's a deal, and I'm going to go get it. Not, oh shit, I have to go get all these documents signed, and I have to go wrangle up all these heirs. No, they usually get happy about it, because that's when the hunt starts. All right? They already locked up the deal, hopefully, so you bought it right, knowing it, but now you know how to solve it. These, okay, are example avatars for list building. And I want you to take a screenshot, pause this, whatever you need, all right? But these are just example ones that I put together. You can make these for anything, okay? If I want to buy vacant land, who's going to be selling that? Where am I going to find this information? All of these characteristics can be put into any filter. If you don't have a paid filter to find off-market properties, put these type of filters into Zillow, all right? Maybe not the same exact ones, right? Trying to find absentee owners or anything like that, but put the property characteristics in it, put the last sale date. You'll be shocked at how much you start filtering out. And when you start finding and building lists, that's all it is, guys. Marketing comes down to understanding who you're going after, where to find them, and you can find them anywhere, okay? But you have to put in the work for it. So, after this, I'll segue and I'll pull up Deal Machine, because that's the tool that we use, and I'll build a list with you guys on screen. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. But this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, okay? Instead of working expired listings and calling agents that have been talked to till their ears bled by random Joe Schmoes saying, hey, do you have any deals that make sense? Do you have any off-market properties? Instead of working that time trying to put in shitty offers to shitty agents with shitty deals, go directly to the source. Try to find off-market properties. Go directly to sellers. Where do you find them? They're all over. Start driving for dollars. It depends on where you are in your business, too. We'll get into that in a second. Yo, Raymond, what's going on, man? We missed you last Thursday. I don't think you definitely didn't come out. I hope you didn't come out. I know for a fact we didn't talk. I'm over here panicking now, running through my list in my head. A lot of these, by the way, are the same list that we pull, and then I have my little kid inside calling them, okay? They're very simple, but they work. How many times do you have to call 100 sellers to build a list of 10? Right? Call 100 trash leads, get 10 good conversations out of them, keep on building your list of 10 until you have 100 warm leads, and then you'll start getting deals out of them. Oh, man, I hear you. Anytime, man. We're always here. So every third Thursday is that event, by the way. So next is, shit, I don't know, the 20th? I haven't looked at next month yet. Does anybody, before I change this slide, does anybody have questions about this type of avatar or understanding it or why we use these type of characteristics? So now you understand the different types of possibilities, all that bullshit, right? Let's get into tailoring your actual marketing for your avatar. When I say marketing, this is cold calling, this is direct mail, this is PPC, this is PPL, this is everything. How do you actually reach out to or get these people to reach to you? All right, inbound versus outbound. You have to adapt your strategies to your budget. When you're first starting out, you don't have a marketing budget. Let's put that as a placeholder, all right? The average person just starting out doesn't have a marketing budget set up for this, okay? So they're going to have to leverage what you do have. So when you're first starting out, you're gonna be doing a lot of cold calling. You're gonna be doing a lot of driving for dollars, all right? You're not gonna be making text and posts to investors saying, hey, let's split a percentage of any deal that I can get done for you. No, that's not doing anything. You have to put in the work, go get a lead, go get a warm lead, go set an appointment for somebody, and then say, hey, listen, I have this appointment, XYZ, this is the property. Do you mind holding my hand now and hopefully we can get this locked up together, right? Like you will get so much farther doing the legwork up front rather than getting stonewalled by investors just because they're getting extra help, okay? I love hearing it, man. So there are different filters for everything, right? Like there are different characteristics for everything when you're talking about different avatars. I have lists for if I was going to go look at on-market properties, right, or if I'm trying to find for sale by owners, I have current characteristics, current keywords that you'll put in when trying to find that specific person, right? But when I'm doing that type of marketing, I know who I'm going after. I understand their problems, their pain points, okay? You can absolutely be successful in doing direct-to-agent, but you're not going to get a $60,000 assignment out of it. Prove me wrong, okay? On a house that isn't 7 figures, okay? If you want to make a $60,000 assignment on a $300,000 ARV, you have to be going direct to seller. There's no other answer. Cold calling, reach out directly to potential sellers. Cost effective. I cannot stress this enough. People want to get into, should I go buy dialers? Should I do XYZ? No, you should pick up your phone and start calling. Until you get enough reps in where that becomes an issue, then worry about it then, okay? But what about legal issues? Don't call the DNC list. It's very easy. Most of the platforms scrub them. If it's on a public place, just call them anyway, right? Like, your goal is to generate leads at this point, okay? Driving for dollars. We do this nonstop. Tony did it all weekend, actually. 35 leads that the guys are working on, trying to skip trace further and get out to them. I don't want to say it's a free approach, but it's relatively free. How many times do you go in and out of neighborhoods? How many times can you just drive a little bit slower and look around the neighborhood and find properties that stick out to you? You know, is the grass overgrown? Are the shingles missing? Are the windows broken? Are the plants looking like trash, right? Tommy, am I blurry as shit?
It's the
connection.
connection.
All these things matter, right? You don't have to have Deal Machine. Let's say you're first starting out and you don't have the money for Deal Machine. That's fine. I understand it. Everybody's been there. Everybody's starting out once their own, right? You don't need Deal Machine. Write it on a piece of paper. Go back to the house and do some digging on CAD, right? Do some more legwork. You can find out most of the information from county websites, okay? Do a little bit of skip tracing on that end, legwork on that end, find out if they even own the property, if it makes sense for your avatar, all right? If I'm only looking for absentee owners and I drive by and I find a house that, you know, the grass is all overgrown, it meets all my characteristics of a WTF house, but if I get home or if I pull it up and I find out that the house was just sold 2 months ago, I'm probably going to cross it right off the list, right? Like, why am I going to waste any more time working a bad lead? Trading time and energy for lack of marketing budget. I can't stress this enough. Focus on manual, low-cost methods to generate leads. Build your network and database of potential sellers, okay? Develop your skills in negotiations and communications. If you have, thank you, Eddie. If you're only doing cold calling, build a list of 300 or 400. Start calling them. 300 or 400, let's work out to 100 phone calls you get out of that by the time DNC or anything, just being conservative. Work 100 phone calls in a day. Try to do that. Out of 100 phone calls, how many good conversations can you have? 5, 10, maybe? Conservatively? How many days do you have to do that in a row until you have 100 warm conversations that now you are systematically reaching back out on? Every Monday, you're talking to the people from the last week. Every Tuesday, you're talking to XYZ, right? You put it in some systemized formation to reach back out, to follow up with the warm leads that you generated through cold traffic, okay? Nobody's doing this. The successful people are. People start doing this, and then they get lazy, and they drop off. Or they'll get a deal or two under their belt, and then the first thing they do after this, they go to try to outsource marketing to a PPC campaign, right? They try to generate their own websites. They try to brand themselves. I cannot stress this enough. Step 2 should never be about branding yourself, okay? You now have a couple deals. Now you have to start getting leads to come in more easily. Now you're going to set up a marketing budget. Your first step shouldn't be to start a PPC campaign. I cannot stress this enough. You're going to be branding yourself. You're going to be losing money. Why are you going to be losing money? Because you're going to get bad leads. You're not going to be able to work them. You're not going to be able to ask anybody for a refund. Let me stress that enough. If you get a bad lead that rings in on your own PPC marketing, you can't ask somebody for a refund. You can't ask your guy, oh, sorry, I didn't know we needed that negative keyword. When you're first getting started and you've done a couple deals, go to the professionals. Pay a reputable PPL company. Lead Zolo, iSpeed to Lead, need to sell my house fast, property leads, right? Property leads.
leads.
Property leads is another one, right? There's 4. They all have tried and true metrics, okay? They all have averages across the board, cost per acquisitions. There are pros and cons of each of them, and I don't want to get into them on today's call. That's not what today's call is about, okay? If you guys have questions about it, please ask them, and I will go into each of them if you want. That's not a problem. But you have to try your own, is what I always tell people, all right? One might be a marketplace, right? One might be a deal marketplace where you'll get a $25 lead, but it might be in the middle of nowhere that nobody can actually sell. Others are bidding platforms, so you have to have the highest bid in those counties. And then others are true PPLs, where you enter in the counties and you're on a round robin. All of them work. Some might be a little bit better than the others in the averages, right? Some might work out to $1,800 versus $1,900, or $2,500 versus $2,700. The averages isn't what's going to break your business, okay? Being from 25 to 2,700 isn't what's going to break your business. Let me just stress that. Everybody wants the best, and I completely understand that. You want to be the best, you want to have the best marketing, you want to have the best cost per averages, do the work. That's all that matters. The average that matters is they're actually closing deals, that you're actually getting deals under contract, okay? Later on, after you've done 10 deals and you actually have a consistent system set up, then you can start getting into marketing, all right? Once you have a PPL campaign that you're confident in, that you're able to answer the phone and close deals, you're able to solve people's problems, okay? You're able to understand what a good lead is and a bad lead is, then you can get into PPC, or then you can get into direct mail, or you can get into some other marketing channel that is going to cost you a significant upfront cost. I don't like that I just said cost twice, but it's going to cost you a significant upfront price, all right? You talk to anybody in the market, anywhere, and nationwide, ask them what their direct mail budget is. Ask them what their direct mail monthly budget is. I promise you, $20,000 is the lowest you will hear, somewhere around there. The average, holy shit. I know people spending $100,000 a month in direct mail. I can't imagine that. I don't want to do that. That's their business, though, all right? Everybody's business is different, okay? You want to take something that is tried and true and make it work for you. Let's summarize everything I just said. Understanding your seller avatar, okay? You have to identify their characteristics and their pain points. Okay, people in probate are not the same with people in pre-foreclosure, right? Probate doesn't mean that they're broke and they're poor and the house is decrepit. No, it can be $1 million probate deal, right? You have two different characteristics of avatars when you're dealing with those sellers, right? You can tailor your marketing message and strategies accordingly. If you're dealing with probate lists, maybe a very nice handwritten letter in a nice envelope on some nice cardstock or something would go farther than if you just sent them a postcard, right? You can tailor each one of your marketing message differently. You can hand touch them, right? You can go all the way to the fact that you door knock them. Hand them a goddamn bouquet of roses and say, sorry for your dead dad. Start with the lowest cost methods. Okay? Use cold calling and driving for dollars when starting out. I can't stress this enough. Don't get into real estate thinking that you can spend money and make money off the bat. You can, don't get me wrong, you absolutely can, but you're more likely to fuck it up. All right? You have to trade your time and energy for your lack of marketing budget. With that being said, even if you had a marketing budget, I still stress these routes, okay? just because you don't know how to actually structure dealing yet. If you have somebody that's able to help you, if all you have to worry about is setting appointments, and then you have somebody that's able to help you close deals, structure them, and everything like that, then absolutely get into marketing, right? Stop working cold traffic, start working inbound warm traffic. Absolutely possible to be one man show. I can't stress this enough. D, there's no need for you to have VAs, have TCs. Okay, let me finish this slide, and then I'm going to get back with you, D. All right. Scaling up your business, right? So after you get a couple deals, then you're going to start scaling up your business. Transition to a pay-per-lead campaign. Shift from outbound to inbound marketing. This way, as your budget increases, okay, don't scale astronomically right out of the gate, right? Just because you got a couple leads or got a couple deals done, don't just start throwing marketing all over either. Make sure you go deep in one channel. Go deep before wide, okay? And then continuous adaptation. All right, you always have to align your marketing approach with your budget and seller avatar. Okay, this is going to change. Anytime you go into a new market, after you crush Dallas and DFW and you're killing it, now you want to go to Florida or Tampa, or you want to start in North Carolina or anything, you're going to have to start over from square one, right? You have to start understanding that market. You're going to turn on one lead source, right? If it's a different market, you're not going to go driving for dollars, obviously, but you can still do list pulling and cold calling. Understand that market, what type of deals you typically run into, all right? And then scale it. You're not just going to say, all right, here's my entire DFW market. I'm going to go slam it over in Arkansas and hope to turn deals. No, it's totally different. Everything's different. Stay flexible and ready to adjust strategies based on results and market changes. This is huge. We say this all the time. We're constantly doing quarterly reviews. We're constantly talking about what quarter we're in, where we're at, what week of the quarter it is. You have to know where your goals are. All right, if I'm hitting the current return on avenue spend that I should be, that I want to, is my current marketing budget actually making me money, or is it losing me money? If I'm spending $20,000 but I'm only making 10 back, what am I doing? And these things change all the time. We saw a huge bump in the beginning of the year, April, right? We were talking about it all the time. Everybody saw a huge change in April. Everybody's cost per acquisitions went through the roof. Not through the roof, but they all adjusted. PPC was high. PPLs started climbing. And then even I know direct mail was getting hit by different obstacles, different new people were getting flooded with offers, right? Offers that didn't make sense. Hold on one second. I think that is, yeah. Let me get into this question right here. So, yes, you can, I know plenty of investors. Boston, where are you at, Boston? If you're here in the chat, let me know, Boston. I know plenty of investors that are one-man shows. They do 5, 10 flips a year, whatever their business is, and they live a very peaceful and happy life. He doesn't have TCs, he doesn't have VAs. Doesn't need it. You build your own business, okay? A lot of gurus teach first step is to go out and hire a TC, hire a VA, okay? The TC is supposed to solve your closing issues. Well, the problem is that's not going to happen. The TC is just going to end up pissing the title agent off, all right? Because they're just going to call title, ask for updates, never solve any issues. The TC position when you first get into real estate is you. It's not a hard position when you first start out. You talk to the sellers, you talk to the title agent, you find out what title needs to close, I need these signatures. I need to find out about this lien. You have to find out what happened with the taxes last year, right? Or whatever the issue is that comes up when you pull title. Then you turn around and you go solve those problems. Instead of offloading this to a third party, TC, when in all reality, this is where you're going to make your money, this is where you're going to earn your money, and this is where you're going to get so much better because you're going to start understanding real estate at its core. All right, I can't stress this enough. The most successful investors I know do their own TC in-house some way or another. Okay, you're specifically not going to hire it out to a third-party VA. Okay, let me just stress that. Throw that idea out the fucking window. A VA, same thing. Check the call from last Tuesday when I had the conversation, the interview with Sphere Rocket. My gripes with VAs is when you're ready, yes, you can be a one-man show and you can hire one VA, and that one VA can actually run your entire business. All right, you can get an admin VA, somebody that's going to be, let's say, that would cost you a $200,000 a year job. If that's a $200,000 a year salary in Texas, you can find somebody in the Philippines maybe for $40,000 a year. Right, so you can get it significantly cheaper. You're helping them and they're running your entire business. Problem is, a lot of time they want to offload the work that is generating money. Okay, I'm going to say that again. A lot of times people hire VAs to offload the work that is generating you money. And that is not the role of a VA. Okay? The role of a VA when you're first starting out and you just closed a couple deals and you did X, Y, or Z shouldn't be for you to be lazy or anything like, oh, well, I wanted to generate warm leads. Now you're getting into the marketing scheme that I just started screaming about, right? Now you're trying to build your own marketing division. I want to hire a bunch of people. I want to provide them with data, and I want them to sit there and cold call to build my 10 per day of warm leads. Well, the problem is you just closed a couple deals. You don't know anything about hiring. You don't know anything about managing. You don't know anything about working with VAs overseas. Do you have the system set up so you tracking their mouse movements? Do you have the passwords and all this other bullshit that you have to go into when managing VAs? Typically, when you're starting out, no. I've found this out the hard way. Everybody finds this out the hard way because they hire VAs and then they end up having to fire them real quickly. I have to calm down. My blood pressure is getting high. With that being said, VAs are very crucial to real estate. We don't use them, but a lot of people do, okay? They can be a huge support to you. I'm going to tell you, do not hire or do not think about hiring a VA until you are well into your business. Until you know, all right, if I do this, if I offload this, it's going to free up my time to do X, Y, and Z, and that is going to make me 7 times the money, right? Or you have to have a return on that. Otherwise, I'm just spending money to free up my time and I'm not getting anything back for it. I'm not hiring them to actually do a job. So, anytime, D. I'm happy that you asked that question. If you have any more, let me know. What was I going to do? How am I doing on time, Tommy?
About 40 minutes in.
40 minutes in. Let me go for another 20 or so. Let me pull up Deal Machine and show you what I was talking about, building lists and stuff. Yeah, da, 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 da. All right. And all right, so before I jump into Deal Machine, I'm gonna end the VA thing. One last thing, all right? Because I know I have a link in the comments or in the descriptions for VA hiring. Okay, so why would I have that if I hate VAs? Sphere Rocket VA is just a hiring company. Okay? They are going to go find you a VA, they're going to hire them, they're going to train you how to use them, and they're going to manage you. They're not managing the VA. If you need to fire the VA, they will. If you need to hire another one, they will. They will give you all the SOPs, all of the how to actually use this person, all of the tools, right? That's why I partnered with them, and that's why I always have their links in there. But a lot of times people want to get into this, they want to hire a VA, and then they go out and they hire a managing company. They're all worth their grain of salt one way or another, I guess, but they all have their ups and downs. Some will hire a VA, train you on them, and then upgrade it. You'll end up losing that person. A lot of those companies, you pay them $11, but the VA is only getting $3. So you're paying for a $11 or $12 per hour job, but you're only getting a qualified staff of $3, right? So these are all things that you don't understand when you're doing deals, right? When you're trying to get into wholesaling and investing, why the hell are you trying to learn about VAs and foreign countries and hiring work out, right? Like, that always blows my mind. And the people that are teaching that, they're assholes. That's all I got. All right. This is Deal Machine. I'm looking at Plano right now. Yeah. So we can literally do what we just said, what we just had up on the screen. All right. So let's just say I want to look at vacant land. No. I don't want to look at vacant land. Let's say, all right, I know what I want. Property type, I want to do a mobile home. Okay. I want absentee owners. Okay, so the owner owns a property with a mobile home on it, but they're not living there. Okay? Beds and bath, all of that I don't care about. Let's say I want to look at land size. So I'll go to acreage. How do I skip over small little things that are worth trash? Well, I'm gonna start filtering right here, right? Let's say it's in between 0.6 of an acre and 1.9. Okay. What are some other filters I can do here? I can say last sale date. Last sale date is more than 10 years. Okay, this right here is going to be your biggest filter. The last sale date is going to be your biggest filter, and it's really going to cut down on your list. And that's what you want. You want a meaty list, right? That sounds so fucked up. You want a rich list. You don't want this giant 50,000 person list that you're going to hand off to VAs and just churn through because you're a lazy fuck. No, you want a good, solid list, only a couple hundred properties for you to work through in a day or two, right? And then keep on building that. Keep on getting a new list. Every day, go and pull a new one, right? Whatever your list is that you're pulling for that, or you're calling for that day, okay? Where was I at? I just got sidetracked. Oh, built. You're built. Your built is greater than 1990. Okay, so on this list, I'm looking for absentee owners that own mobile homes on land that are bigger than 6.6 of an acre and less than 1.9. They've owned it for 10 years or greater. I haven't put a location yet in. It's still saying 75004. It's because this avatar would not be in the city. Like, it'd be dumb for me to expect this type of property to be in the middle of DFW. It's not going to be there. Where's it going to be? Hunt County. Let's try. We can do Collin County. I don't know why I put that. What are some other good ones? I'm blanking here. Sorry guys, I just went blank, completely blank on DFW counties. Johnson, what's the one I'm thinking about? Grayson, that's the one I was trying to think of, Grayson. Grayson County. So let me just add those three and see what happens. Loading, loading, loading. Keep that doggy loading. Rahad. So I think I saw just under 300. 203. That's a solid list. Right now, you can kind of start playing with it if you want. Let's say I want the list bigger. I can just go edit this, and I want to. Let's say I remove it down to 7 years. Right? Let's cut 30% off. I want to see the drastic change this goes from. We're at 20 something, 262. So we added 50 properties. You can have up to 5 counties when you pull a list in Deal Machine. You can take this avatar and just copy and paste it over multiple different counties, build 5-county list, export it, call through it, move over. All right, I'm going to go from Dallas, now I'm going to go more westward. I'm going to be more Fort Worth, right? And I'm still doing the same thing. With this list, this avatar that I'm working with, I'm going to be finding this person in more tertiary markets. Okay, it's going to take a little bit more land. These people, again, they still have problems. They have properties and they're going to have problems. When you run through 262 people, maybe you get 10 people that want to sell or they've been thinking about selling in the next 6 months. All right? Add them to a follow-up campaign. Doesn't take much. We can then deep dive a little bit more into it. The reason, again, you can see right here, year built on this one was 1992. So you have a quality mobile home. You have something that you can work with. You have property that you can make money on, right? There's desire for that type of plot in this geographic location, right? The way I built this list was, all right, who do I want to talk to? Who wants to sell? Mobile homes absolutely sell, specifically this list, because they have land attached to them, okay? So the reason why I did the filters the way I did was because even if the mobile home is decrepit, you still have almost an acre of land on average. If I did 0.6 to 1.9, I just, But a lot of them are speed. They're more unique. Again, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going after single-family people. Every person in the world is going after single people in the middle of DFW. So you can start thinking about that too. This avatar, how many people are actually focusing on them? Is land and is land and mobile homes more of a niche market? You're absolutely correct. So make sure you buy deeper because you're going to have a little bit harder time finding a seller. Possibly, but still amazing properties to find money on, to create a deal out of. When you do when we do PPL, okay, the only time that we're not marketing for land is when it's just land, okay? We market to land with mobile homes on it all day long. They are great opportunities. The reason that I don't do land is because the characteristics, you're not able to filter out the characteristics of it. I can't even talk, sorry. You're not able to filter out the characteristics of land when it comes to inbound marketing, okay? So if I gear up my message and I say, I want to buy your land, I'm going to get a lot of Joe Schmoes selling me their random trash lot in the heart of stop 6, right? Or something that isn't going to make money, isn't going to be anything that's worth it. That's why I don't do it. That's why we don't do it. That's not our business. You take that same question and you put it toward a land investor, and he's going to have a completely different answer for you, okay? When you get with a PPL service like LeadZolo, they're going to ask you if you want land or not, and that's yes or no, and I tell them no, because again, I don't want to waste my, if I'm spending $200 or $250 or whatever their average is, whatever their cost per lead is, I don't want to throw money on deals that I can't get closed, I can't do anything with. I want to focus on the ones that are going to make us money. I know for a fact single family and mobile homes on a plot of land make you money. If I took this same filter and I removed the land quality from it, if I changed it and I made it less of the acreage, if I only did max of 0.6, this list would probably triple, first off. You're going to have to work through a lot more. So that comes down to filtering out your list to have a quality of number, right? I try to get my list around 500, sub 500. It depends on what you're doing with it, okay? This is just for one person to take it and work and go do, all right? This isn't to give to a team and then say, hey, listen, go work this for the next week. All right, these are leads that you're going to call out to systematically. You're going to text them. You're going to potentially put on marketing for direct mail. But these are all fantastic leads that it took me, what, 10 minutes to build this list? So, does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to get into negotiation? Goes hand in hand with everything, right? So understanding their pain points, understanding their problems, and then just listening. How do I solve this person's problem? By listening. Honest to God, just letting them talk. They'll tell you exactly what they need, and it's never the number, right? I need you to solve this problem. I think it's going to take 300 grand to solve this problem. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I understand you're having this problem and you think you need this for this property. Let's have a conversation about it. Where did you come up with that number? Was that how much you want to get from the property? How much you think it's worth selling? Okay, well, the property obviously isn't worth that much right now because the house down the street just sold for the same amount and it looks 10 times better. Can we both agree on that? Yeah. So again, just having these long conversations and understanding their pains, that is all negotiation is about. Being able to solve problems, it just comes with time. And when you're first starting out, you don't want to offload that to a VA. They're not going to be able to solve problems and understand pain points. I don't care where they came from. Let me finish on this. If anybody has any more questions, drop them in the comment. I'm always here for you guys. These are my direct cell phone number. Our toolkit, download it. It's got our calculator on it. It's got our scripts on it, everything. And then if you're ready to take the step, if you're ready to start crushing it, join our free Discord community. Click it. It's in the links. Hop in there. We're doing daily calls. I'm actually going to go through this and then go hop on a call in there in the voice chat and talk about PPL. Yeah, somebody had some questions about it. So if anybody needs anything, this is where you can find us. Okay? Every third Thursday, we have an open house in the office. Okay? Link is in the comments, Eventbrite. Let us know how we can help. Crushing it, guys. D, anytime. I'll explain anything. Just bring the questions coming. Keep them coming. Keep crushing it, guys. Peace.